Hi guys! Welcome back to Toxic to Me. Ako Ivanna, ako doktor.
And ako, Christiana, ako psychologist.
And today we're going to be talking about the science of vanity.
You know, I really wish that I had 7 friends so that for Halloween we could go as the 7 deadly sins. Would that not be so sick? Right?
No, but that's a
I'd
good
be
idea.
gluttony and I'd just like stick chocolate all over me.
What was that? Gluttony?
Gluttony.
But you don't reflect gluttony. Look at you. Look, you're so small.
Calling me skinny, I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but speaking of the 7 deadly sins, do you know what they are?
Gluttony.
Lust, wrath, sloth, greed, vanity. I'm missing 2.
Is vanity not pride?
So what is vanity? Tiana.
Vanity is an excessive concern for one's appearance and achievements, often driven by desire for admiration, whilst narcissism is a broader, more malignant form of self-centeredness involving a grandiose sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. So I think vanity is like a smaller thing, tapi narcissism is like an all-encompassing umbrella.
I think vanity juga lebih focus on looks, yeah?
Yeah.
Right? So in this age, I think we should talk about why are we so obsessed with how we look and how others perceive us physically. Don't you think so?
Why are we so vain?
Why are we so vain? Would you say you're vain?
I think all of us are vain to an extent.
I think I'm kind of vain. No, I mean, I think there's a fine line between taking care of yourself and making sure you're not vain.
Yeah.
And sometimes that line gets really blurry.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of us come off as vain.
Yeah.
But is it really just ego, or is it evolution, or is it psychology? You know?
Yeah.
That's what we're going to talk about today.
I'm going to learn a lot as we go. So I have a question. I think we live in an era where you're literally like, okay, I think we live in an era where we have at least 10 friends each who are all training for marathons or at the gym lifting weights or at Pilates. So we're living in an era where people are consistently exercising and doing so is the norm. A lot of people are doing it for health. Tapi other people are also doing it to enhance parts of their appearance, right? Which I think both are equally as fair. As a doctor, what would you say the distinction is between self-care and vanity?
For me personally, I think it's the motivation and the intent behind it. When you're doing all these things, saat lo melakukan semua hal ini, apa yang lo cari? Apakah lo mencari validasi dari orang lain? Do you want people to praise you? Lo pengen orang lain tuh puji lo? Atau lo FOMO mungkin? Lo takut ngerasa if you don't jump on the bandwagon, people are gonna treat you less better? Yeah, less better or less well. Less well. Are people gonna treat you less well and things like that? But for self-care, I feel like it stems from your self-validation. Like, I know I'm doing this because I want to get healthy. I know I'm doing this because it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So you don't really care about what all these other people around you are saying. You know you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's where the line is between self-care and vanity.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think there's a possibility that sometimes it starts as self-care, tapi then with all of Kaya's societal pressures, it turns into vanity?
I think it can happen that way. Yeah. There was a research conducted in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in 2020, and it showed that when appearance goals come from within or come from self-expression or confidence, they boost our well-being.
Really?
Yes. But if your appearance goals stem from insecurity or social pressure, they predict higher anxiety and depressive symptoms. So that's why I think in this age, especially with social media and everything, all of that feeds into that, right?
Yeah. It's like perpetuating.
Exactly. Yes. So as a therapist, what do you see? Like, do patients come to you with like insecurities, especially physical insecurities?
Yeah.
And do they like do they find themselves comparing themselves with other people and things like that? Do you think you could share more about that?
Yeah, well, I think in the age of social media, a lot of people do. And I think beyond kaya clients, it's also like amongst our peers juga kan. Like it's not like only people who have mental illness, tapi it permeates all of society. A lot of people to kaya feel pressure to keep up.
Yeah.
Compare themselves to other people physically. One of the things, right? In terms of achievements, another kind of thing. It's like you always feel like you're falling behind, right? Tapi in terms of vanity itself, what I notice is people who may come off as vain. A lot of the times they're not actually vain, tapi the vanity itself to kaya is covering like deep insecurity. Sebenarnya. Jadi kayak mereka ngejar acceptance. Mereka ngejar dipuji karena they're unhappy with themselves.
So they're using vanity almost as a mask, right?
Yeah, it's like masking. Vanity can mask insecurity for sure.
I see. Following up on that, a lot of studies, especially in the field of neuroscience, backs that up.
Yeah.
They did an fMRI, like several studies did using fMRI. They found out that getting compliments, or maybe in today's age, it would be the equivalent of getting likes on social media, that activates the brain's ventral striatum, which is also the same part of the brain that that is triggered by food or money.
Really?
So it's like the reward system.
Dang.
Yeah. So basically, it's biology.
Yeah.
Like to seek validation and things like that. There's parts of your brain that literally react to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like a cycle. So you're always chasing a high gitu.
Bener. So then it gives you like a little dopamine hit, and it's like a little feel good thing, you know?
So let's talk about mungkin vanity in terms of appearance juga kan. I think in the age of social media, that's one thing. In the age of social media filters, Facetune, all of those things, kaya, how do you think that affects people, kaya, especially in terms of like biological appearance, especially in terms of kaya physical appearance gitu?
Ini menurut gue ya, this is my hot take. I mean, it's not a hot take, but it's something that menurut gue tuh orang tuh harus ingat, selalu ingat. Is that what you see on social media is people's highlight reel. It's the best versions of themselves.
Yeah.
It's the versions that they put out into the world that they want other people to see.
Yeah.
Jadi lu jangan bandingin highlight reel orang dari hidup orang dengan behind the scenes-nya lu.
Yeah.
Iya dong.
Yeah.
We don't know how much they've edited those photos. We don't know how much work they've put in to achieve those things also. And that's why I also think, especially with influencers or celebrities who have a platform and have young people following them, how important it is to be transparent.
Yeah.
Gua tuh bukan against plastic surgery, Botox, fillers, editing, whatever it is. Do whatever makes you feel good, but at least be honest about it.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that's my hot take. Be transparent about it.
Yeah,
Gitu.
I agree.
Kenapa penting buat lo jujur tentang hal-hal kayak gini? Karena setidaknya followers lo bakal tahu, it's not to say that, oh, berarti she's fake. Oh, berarti she's not real or not authentic. No, it's not about that. For me, setidaknya supaya your followers know that these are unrealistic, unachievable beauty standards that they are following. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even these celebrities or these influencers needed help to get there, needed work done, gitu loh.
Yeah.
And that's no shame. There's no shame in that whatsoever.
Yeah.
But don't go and tell your followers that, oh, gue lahir kayak gini. Oh, hidung gue udah mancung kayak gini.
It was my
dari
lip
lahir."
kit. Purchase my lip kit.
Maksudnya, come on lah.
That worked though.
Like, a lot of, especially the younger girls, younger generation, they're gonna believe that, oh, why wasn't I born that way? Oh, something is wrong with me and things like that. And I don't think that's right.
Yeah, for sure. That's a very good take. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that should be the take.
Yeah,
The
but
norm.
a lot of people would be like, I think it's very pro contra.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would be like, okay, that's private information. Apa yang gue pilih ngakuin dengan muka gue, kenapa gue harus share ke orang-orang?
Yeah.
Kenapa gue harus publicly announce that?
Yeah.
Itu kan hak gue.
Yeah.
Ada benernya, but it's not, I don't think it's wrong. It's just like ethically and morally questionable if you have a following that big and you're not being transparent. You're not being a responsible
Yeah.
influencer?
Yeah.
Artist? Yeah.
Kaya, I think one of the celebrities yung bener-bener kaya for all of her faults and all of the things she said, who's actually done really well with us, Brooke
Schofield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kaya dia kan
We'll put a picture.
Yeah. Dia tuh apa namanya? What is it called bahasa?
A blepharoplasty.
What does that mean? Like the
So
eyelid
basically
thing.
she did surgery on her eyelids. Either to deepen her double eyelids or to give her double eyelids.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And she got a boob job and she did all of that. Tapi dia kaya jujur about it. And she's talking about it karena she was insecure about those things. Terus kaya Sierra Furtado. Yeah, she also does it. Karena she's insecure. So I think again, awalnya a lot of the times, people yang mungkin kelihatannya tuh vain, sebenarnya tuh they're doing things to kind of decrease insecurity. So vanity is not like simple. It's not easily detectable. It's not necessarily things that look vain are not always coming from a place of vanity. That's what I'll say.
I would agree. I would think so. I didn't really like Kylie Jenner.
Why?
Before. But I feel
King Kylie is back. What do you mean? It's the King Kylie era.
No, but I feel like in the later years, maybe she's also matured more. And I think we forget sometimes to give grace also to like artists like these because we forget how young they are also. Like we forget that they're growing up literally in the spotlight and it can't be easy with a lot of attention on them. But I've come to appreciate her more. Kenapa? Because I don't know if you know, but she's been more transparent about all the procedures she's actually had done. Like someone asked her about her boob job and she literally gave like all
I saw that.
The comments. Yeah, so I can appreciate that more because at least you're not feeding into unrealistic beauty standards for your followers, you know?
Yeah.
So in this age of digital narcissism, one would say, or digital vanity, Tiana, do you think that social media correlates with increased narcissism or lower self-esteem and social anxiety and depression? What are your thoughts?
I think the research on that's mixed. Karena aku juga pernah cari tahu. Some people are like, yes, this, that. Honestly, I think especially narcissism, everyone has a degree of narcissism. Tapi kalau narcissistic personality disorder kan udah ambang klinis, like everything. Everyone has anxiety, tapi not everyone has clinical anxiety. Everyone has aspects of narcissism. It's evolutionary, tapi not everyone is a narcissist. So I think kaya social media maybe I believe that social media is not great for mental health. Kaya generally speaking, obviously it's a tool. Kalau you give that tool to someone who is more prone to narcissism or who has higher narcissistic tendencies, they will show. Tapi if someone is more prone to anxiety and things like that, yes, it can perpetuate the anxiety, it can make the anxiety worse. Tapi social media is just a tool. And it depends on its usage. It depends on a lot of different factors besides the platforms themselves. Does that answer?
So it's
I don't
mixed,
know. So I googled it. Actually, not well versed in this. Tapi kaya, like I said earlier, the findings are mixed. Ada juga yang berteori kalau sebenarnya kaya social media emang it increases narcissistic tendencies. Kenapa? Karena it encourages narcissistic behaviors, like frequently posting selfies, seeking likes and comments for validation, curating an idealized self-image. So obviously, I think you have to remember a degree of narcissism is not unhealthy. Tapi social media can increase narcissistic behaviors.
Okay.
Does it increase vanity?
It's more about the tool.
It's a tool.
Them using the tool. I see. Did you know that there was a study done in 2021 by the Body Image Journal that found that people who tend to edit their photos more or alter it more or filter it more show greater body dissatisfaction.
I can see that. Karena kenapa? Why are you changing it? Because you're unhappy kan? Terus then apa you edit it, semakin diedit, semakin you're like, actually I could look like that. But if I just like, rather than kaya working out atau taking care of yourself, you're like, you know what, just cut off like 3 more centimeters on the
But I think this feeds back into what we said, that vanity is actually masking a lot of our insecurities.
Yeah. Tapi juga ada orang yang emang vain. So I think that vanity, like narcissism, I think everyone is born with a degree of vanity, right? Everyone has something that they're like, tapi not everyone is vain. So some people have vain tendencies. I think that's a better way to put it. everyone has vain tendencies, tapi not everyone is vain.
Did you know that there's a reason why we're wired the way that we are? Why we have vain tendencies, narcissistic tendencies.
Okay.
There's actually an explanation to all that. Because back then, like, being vain, vanity, it's not shallow, it's survival.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Because a lot of research has proven this, by the way. There's work done by certain psychologists, one of them being David Buss, and it shows that physical attractiveness itu tanda dari pertama kesehatan, kedua kesuburan, and also genetic fitness. So evolutionarily, you want to be procreating with people with good genes so that your offspring will have even better genes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jadi lu pasti bakal cari orang yang paling sehat, paling fit, paling subconsciously, evolutionarily. Makanya it goes deeper than just being shallow. Like, there's actually evolutionary roots to the reasons why behind why we have vain tendencies.
I believe that. Because karena aku juga ngajar, remember cultural psychology? Terus kita belajar sebenarnya physical attraction is so important in finding a partner. In terms of kayak from a biological point of view ya. Karena beda budaya tuh kan beauty standardsnya beda-beda. Tapi in the past misalkan, also across time, cross-culturally and like longitudinally, dulu a lot of people would look for like women with bigger hips because they're childbearing, right? So that was more attractive.
Katanya estrogennya lebih tinggi kalau pinggulnya lebih lebar.
Yeah.
Higher estrogen means what? Better fertility, higher fertility.
Yeah. So yeah, I do think that I understand where you're coming from. I can link that to some other stuff juga.
Yeah, and I think it also, when you feel good about yourself, it also helps in finding a partner.
Yeah.
Because certain studies have shown, like a 2015 study in the Evolution Human Behavior Journal, it found that people with higher self-perceived attractiveness, they had higher social networking skills and confidence.
Yeah.
And when you have higher social networking skills, when you have more confidence, that enables you to go out and meet more people kan.
Yeah.
So the chances of you meeting a partner or finding a partner kan juga jadi naik.
So you gotta get up and get out there, guys.
Keluar rumah, cari pasangan lo. But behind all that also, there's a twist.
Okay.
Our brains evolved for validation from a smaller number of people, from like a small tribe, maybe 100 people. It wasn't meant for thousands online. Do you get it? Because now we're posting, and what we're posting is being seen by thousands of people online. So that validation system. Why can't I speak right today?
I can't either. We had to do the intro like 3 times.
Yes, that validation system wasn't wired for high amounts of people, big amounts of people. But because of social media and accessibility and things like that, now you're projecting towards a higher audience, a bigger audience, higher audience, bigger audience.
Yeah.
And it's hard for you not to feel insecure when you know so many people are seeing you.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
How would you deal with that?
How would I deal with
recognize that in you, like vanity or like insecurity like that? How do you approach that? Or do you not want to talk
Okay,
about
let's answer. Kita jawab ya satu-satu. Let's start with Tiana.
Well, I think if you feel that you are too vain, atau I think if you see vanity in yourself, try and like operationalize it in the sense of okay, what do you feel is vain? Because sometimes people might definition of vanity beda-beda kan. Firstly, try and see okay, sebenarnya I feel like this is not normal. Recognition is the first thing. Secondly, talk to people, talk to your friends, talk to loved ones, ask them about it. Terus kalau ujung-ujungnya kayak you really feel like it's a problem, atau you feel like it's impairing your relationships with yourself or other people, it might be worth talking to a therapist about, you know? Also, in what terms are you vain? Is it physical appearance? Okay, if so, how? Misalkan, you go to the gym all the time because you want to look a certain kind of way. Okay, I feel like a certain degree of that is normal. I think vanity exists on a spectrum kan. Tapi if it's like deep insecurity and you're constantly trying to outrun yourself or outrun those insecurities, talk to a professional. How about you? What's your answer?
Ini lebih ke sharing sih, because this is I think he asked how I handle it or how I deal with it. Kalau orang lain mau dengerin gue, that's great, tapi enggak. I'm just sharing my piece. Kalau bagi gue sih yang pertama gue cari tahu dulu. Sekarang apa sih yang what am I being insecure about right now? Like what my body image, let's say. What about it is making me insecure? Let's say, contohnya, oh, I feel fat.
That's
Am I really
offensive.
fat?
That's offensive to fat.
No, but like, maksudnya gini loh. Why do I feel fat? Like, am I comparing myself to people online? Am I comparing myself to other people in my life that I know who are of smaller frames? Kenapa gue bisa ngerasain insecure kayak gitu? And then, for me, I try to rationalize it. Let's say I have a friend who is so tiny. She's small, like she's so skinny, like kurus banget.
Yeah.
And then beside her, I feel like a whale. Let's say.
Yeah.
Ya gue lihat, misalnya, let's say, I know like my BMI is within the normal range. By the way, I know for a fact that I'm not overweight, but yet I feel fat. Why? Is it because I'm standing next to someone who, in relation, is that small? Then it makes me feel like I'm big. And also, what is her height? Is she shorter than me? Why am I comparing weight only and not height?
Okay.
This is the logic. This is the logic that I have. Because for me, I think in very logically. So I try to rationalize everything that I'm feeling.
I just cry.
No, seriously. I don't know if that would help,
Yeah.
but this is how I deal with it. And also, I try to remind myself to give my body grace. Give myself grace. I mean, like, this body has sustained me for 25 years. It's gotten me everywhere I've been. It's been with me through everything that I've done. Everything that I've achieved is in this body.
Yeah.
So, don't be so harsh on it. Give it some love. Gitu loh. Like, you want a cake? If you haven't had cake and you're on a diet, have a little bit. It's fine. It's not going to kill you. I still struggle with that sometimes. But you have to keep telling yourself that. Or in other words, fake it till you make it.
So in other words, rationalize it.
I try to rationalize it. And if there's something there, like I have an insecurity yang benar-benar kayak no matter how much I try to rationalize it or think it through, benar-benar nggak bisa. Okay, so now the next question is, what can I do about it?
Yeah.
Gitu loh. Gua kalau olahraga, will it help? Gua kalau misalnya mau operasi, will it help? Gitu loh. Tapi ya lo pikirin mateng-mateng, resikonya apa? Benefitnya apa?
Okay.
Because everything comes with pros and cons, right?
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I would say. So, I think this ties into our point, like our next point, which is there's actually science behind self-compassion.
Okay.
Yeah. So, her name is Christiana, and it shows that people who practice kindness towards themselves, self-kindness rather than self-criticism, have lower cortisol levels. Cortisol is the stress hormone, right? And it better body image and also less shame. So overall, happier individuals.
Yeah.
I think that says a lot, right?
100%.
If we try and change our mindset from gua jeleknya di sini, gua kurangnya di sini, to let's say, oh, gua mau lebih baik lagi. I think that shift
perception is everything.
Perception is everything. Yes.
I agree.
Because this is something I also wanted to add. Kenapa kita sebagai society put so much emphasis on our looks? Because it affects our daily life.
Yeah.
Pretty privilege, tau dong. It's hard for you to be like, oh, I don't care about what other people think about me when the consequences of it itu nyata di depan mata. Lo lihat temen lo diperlakuin lebih baik daripada lo karena dia cantik.
Yeah.
Pasti ada rasa gak enak kan gitu loh. So I really do understand why we are the way that we are.
100%.
But I think it's going beyond that and realizing where is healthy, what is healthy, and what is not.
Yeah. Kan kita udah bahas nih. Vanity itu sebenarnya exists on a spectrum. Narcissism on a spectrum. Obviously, at the very far end, if you become a narcissist, that's not good. Tapi some elements of narcissism, some elements of vanity, untuk kaya are still like quite common in the general population. When would you say, if you had a friend struggling with this, at what point would you say it would be problematic? Kaya that's too much of the vanity. Would it be kaya? Because I would say like when it impairs their relationships.
Oh, I think that's true. But also for me, I think when it impairs your quality of life.
How so?
Number one, it could be in the form of relationships.
Yeah.
Number two, Do you ever find like people who are too scared to do anything and to live life because of these like vain tendencies? Because I've met people like that.
Yung kaya, no sun. Dito.
Yeah, I've had friends who are like, I cannot smile because if I smile with my teeth, it will give me smile lines. What do you say to that? Ko tanya, gulo ko jawab ako. I mean, like, to each their own, but also live life. Live life! Why don't you want to live life? Lu gak mau ketawa apa? Lu gak mau jadi orang bahagia? Masa lu mau ketawa aja, lu harus tahan gara-gara lu takut akan terbentuk smile line. You know, things like that lah. When it already affects your everyday existence, your everyday being, the way you think, the way you do life, I think that's too much.
Okay.
What do you think?
I 100% agree with you.
I think today we learned so much about vanity and also narcissism because we have a little bit of that in all of us. And I think it's normal. Like it's even rooted in evolution, right? So, wajar lah. But I think it's important to recognize when is enough and when is, when's too much and when is not. As someone who has been jokingly called vain, I get that.
Okay.
So I did learn a lot. I learned a lot as someone who has been So as someone who has jokingly been called vain, I did learn a lot. Yeah. Did you?
I did learn a lot, and I learned that self-love and self-compassion is not vanity.
It is
as well. Take care of yourself.
So I'm not vain. I learned that I'm not vain. I just take care of myself.
Okay. Well, that wraps up today's episode.
And we hope you get well soon.